welcome back to Contact, Space Engineers, a series. I decided to start on this lovely sunrise, partially because I reset the time so it would be day during most of the video. I don't think that's too bad of a thing to do because, my goodness, it's hard to see. Speaking of hard to see, we can zoom out a bit. So this is the base as it be. We've got our one wind turbine, which I could add a second partner to now that that's fixed. We've got some solar panels. We've got a little miner. We've got all the basic stuff going. God, I just realized how many GPS markers there are about the place. My plan for today is I'm going to build a car. Or a truck, I guess more accurately. Because I want to go and check out some of these things that are out there. So, I guess over here is probably the best place to do this. First thing, because we can, I'm going to put the other wind turbine on. It has been brought up many times as, oh, I don't have many things. Or many parts to build things. Maybe I go and do some drone mining runs first off. But yeah, as was brought up many times in... That's wrong. In the previous... I guess it was the previous two videos. So the first one was basically the bug with the wind turbines I experienced last time was fixed like the day after I recorded. So by the day that I uploaded, that bug was fixed. Unfortunately, I recorded 2 episodes that day, so there was a week where I didn't have a second wind turbine, even though I could have, because the bug, it existed, but I was showing it at a point when it didn't. This is all background stuff that most of you probably don't care about, but it's the reality of being a content creator and, you know, not planning ahead, which is something I don't do. But yeah, 2 wind turbines that are probably now interfering with each other, but I'm going to leave it because I don't care and it'll annoy the people who told me to fix it. Now, okay, so what things do we have? Show me all of our, I think, yeah, this is all of our minerals. So we've got a little bit of iron and a decent amount of iron. Could use some nickel. Probably get some more cobalt. So there is nickel over by the iron. I'm just going to do some quick, like a single run each of the drone, just to go and get some of these things. So then I can build to my heart's content. Now, I did check the battery back at base too. Power was an issue there temporarily. Can't do too many directions at once. But power at the base didn't seem to be too unhappy. The battery, it wasn't charging quickly, but it was charging, so that is good. Alright, nickel. Yep, the drone is empty. That is a bit of a perk. I mean, there are a lot of factors at play, but because all I have on this drone is the drill's cargo, it empties out almost instantly, because the drill is pushing automatically into any storage. I don't have to use sorters or anything to make it empty. Alright. Don't think I'll need it for the rover, but I'm going to just get some cobalt just to say I have it. And we can see, so I'm just out of range of that thing too, so I may swing out and check both out. Ooh. So another interesting thing, as I commented previously, this camera upside down, my mouse, if I have to move it at all, is very weird because it's all inverted too. And it has been brought up, and At some point, maybe I'll add a mod that basically creates a version of this camera that is, you know, this position, but the camera's the right way around. That might be worth getting, because it feels like something that should be in the game. Just makes sense to exist. But, I don't know. I'm always itchy about block mods, because you can really open up a Pandora's box of choice doing that. Okay. Now do I build in the shady tree or over here? I think over here. Somewhere close to cargo. I'd love to build... Ooh. I'd love to build inside, but I don't really want to build the inside before I build here. It would just be... I'm gonna use interior blocks. They're cheap. Alright. So, maybe I didn't need to build an entire, like, detailed floor for what I needed to do in here, but I did it anyway. Now I want to change the details, because I want those further apart. But we'll deal with that later. We have a floor, we have a little internal, well, not internal yet, but I feel like it's a smart idea to start building as I go the things in this base, because otherwise I have what I need. I could easily get distracted and not actually build much of this. Start building all the fun vehicles. So with that out of the way, the sun is going down, which will mean building this rover will be great, though most of it will probably be cut out anyway. Let's get some bits for rover construction. So I've got my classic little landing gear sprue. I don't know exactly how this vehicle's gonna look. I think I probably want it a little higher just in case. And I know I want to use this cockpit because it's new. So my plan with this vehicle in general is that it is my sort of cargo transport thing, and it carries this drone on it. So the drone is 3 blocks tall, essentially. As is this cockpit, right? Yeah. So if I have essentially a conveyor line down here. Okay, so that's a large that. Should be okay. Yeah, so that space in front is unoccupied. I do that and that. I can use the flat adapter in any old orientation I want. That gives me cargo coming straight out this way, which I can run 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 8 blocks before the connector for room. Then I make use of another thing I forgot, which is this inset connector, which doesn't actually... Dang it. Doesn't have conveyor ports in the orientation I was hoping for. It won't be quite as pretty, but I can just do one of those. Create myself a little awkward bypass back here. So I can still have my conveyor. I have my line of cargo. Then probably want 5 blocks behind it before anything else. I don't know if this is going to be my final design, but I figure it'll give me a good idea of spacing. So that is the amount of room I would need on board to comfortably fit the drone inside the truck. And then I do cargo containers back here. I'd probably want at least 3. That is a mile-long vehicle. That feels excessive. I mean, it could work. Definitely could work. And it's not quite what I was hoping for. Okay. Got another, well, another idea. Oh, dang it. Now my floor welding ran me out of iron. And I guess I'll be doing another quick drone trip. Oh, this will be interesting. I don't think I've used the drone at night before. And it has headlights on it. Let me just make double sure. Radius is good. I can up their offset. Maybe want a, like close-in radius light on here. Once I get full up, the red lights will illuminate the local area, but I don't know. That's only half of the flight process. I also probably need to stop mining for a bit. Hopefully this is the last iron I'm gonna need. Which I realized too. Ooh, overshot that. I realized there's nickel and iron over here with this cobalt. So I might as well just do all of that mining here in one hole. But yeah, hopefully this iron will be enough that I can then leave the drone charging for a bit, because its batteries aren't, and I don't think they're bad, and I feel like it doesn't have as much charge on board as I want it to have. And doing this docking approach makes me think too, my plan with having the dock inset on the truck, probably not a good one, because then I'd have to navigate myself into the truck. It should be doable, in part because I'll be in the truck, so I can go into third person outside the camera view and navigate it like an RC plane or something. But I don't know. I think this new idea will work better. Alright, so this is what I've got. We have our cockpit here, wheels. From the cockpit I have a little conveyor. This is the connector there. So the drone will essentially just sit on top of the entire frame, which might make it a little top heavy, but I'm hoping the sort of wider offset wheelbase will help compensate for that. So either side of that connector we have our two batteries. I may stick some more just small batteries up here. I may even have them basically set up as off by default, so there's sort of my emergency backup power. I've tucked sort of all the utility stuff under here. And then out the back I have two medium cargo containers and a connector. Now, I could do a large cargo container. I should have probably looked into the, I've not actually bought the DLC that was released yet for this iteration. There is a cargo container on there that's, I think, 3x5. My guess is it's the same mass as the other cargo, as a large cargo container, just oriented differently. That may have worked better. In fact, it may even fit with the battery shaping I'm using. And this truck may get a rework. But for now, I think this is a good enough setup. So I'll get it welded up, probably figure out some headlight mountings, and then we should be good to go. Alright, day has broken on the birth of a glorious Rover. Which I've got to say, I'm liking it. I'm really liking the vibe. I was kind of, with this cockpit, it feels like it goes on something squat. This is a very squat, roving vehicle. It almost looks like some sort of lizard creature. Length is looking pretty good. I'd say that's a reasonable sized truck. It fits within the garage, which is nice to know. So yeah, I guess moment of truth. Well, not really truth. I know what'll happen is it'll fall to the ground. And let's make that happen. Free the beast. Oh, look at it. Oh, it looks so cute. Yeah, this is some sort of... I think the skink. I think this is a skink. Is what we're calling it. And I'll have to get some skinky lizard colors. I'm sure we can come up with that. Let me do some quick setup. So, some of the features of this vehicle, ignoring the detailing, I do have a reverse camera that'll hopefully help me with this connector. Let's actually see. This is the first time in the cockpit of it. This is a good positioning. Yeah, you can see the grass with a little crack. And this nice bubble thing. I'm liking this. View camera? Yeah, so I can just see the back of my connector, which means I can line that up nice and good to other connectors. Obviously, I can go third person and do some of that, but I don't know, it always feels nice to have the option to use a vehicle that isn't third person. Now, I guess here's a good place as any to look at the things. So I have 2 event controllers on board. I have an action relay, which I'm basically going to use as a garage door opener once the base has a garage door. It's got its 2 cargo containers. I've got a gyro, wheels, of course, lights aplenty. I did add those small batteries, which I'm going to go ahead and set to recharge. So they'll essentially be backup. If the big batteries go out, it means I have a little bit of trickled power that I can use to hopefully get home. I think I've talked about this in other videos, but for those who are new to my channel, I usually will adjust the offset on spotlights. Essentially, it's hard to see because it's day at the moment, but if you imagine the light is a little ball that's pointing out the cone of lightness, adjusting that offset adjusts where in relation to the block that cone starts. And it'll go either further into the block or further out. Setting the offset further away means that I can see, it essentially means light goes further, because the light cones and space engineers, and maybe in real life, I don't know how light works, they dissipate over time and stop being visible. So this just gives a little bit more range to spotlights so that you can see just a little bit further ahead of yourself. So these I know are my steering wheels. I placed them first so they would be, easy to identify. So I'm going to turn steering off on those other ones. Verify that I'm not wrong, which is good. It is particularly zippy. I almost want to tone that down. Maybe we will go ahead and have a wheels group. Let's set this up so I could increase power and then decrease power. So that'll essentially dictate how much pep the wheels have, which will make it a little bit more controllable, and I can adjust that as the thing gets heavy, because that's when I'll need wheel power. Okay. Well, I think that's pretty much ready to drive. Last thing. Yeah. I want to go ahead and put the drone on board just in case I find any minerals en route. So, that should be the drone because the drone is connected. Yep. This is going to get weird. So I can just see the drone over there. Turn on dampeners, turn off that. Yep, drone is moving. Okay. First time docking to the skink. That's the camera. Hopefully these plates won't cause me any issue. I debated putting them on there, but I just thought it looked much better with them than without them. Okay, we seem alright. So, dampeners and lock. Camera got a little weird. And I'm still, still in control of the drone. Okay. We're a bit heavy. Let me... Oh, that was wrong. It'll balance out a bit when the cargo containers are full. The drone is maybe a little further back than I would want it. Or further forward, rather. But the drill's in a good spot. It's kind of, not quite over, but just a little bit. I can see it if I look up. Yeah, we should be alright. Oh, that's a downside, though. I can't look at the vehicle in third person from directly behind, because that thing is a subgrid. So I guess this is driven in first person. Alright. So while the sun is still up, let's go check out whatever this is. Give the neighbors an old visit. Ooh. Did just think of a very important thing, though. This needs a paint job. Let's see. It'll get... Because everything the drone connects to is larger than the drone, it's always... The name gets weird. Let's go ahead and take the drone off for a second. Because it needs its own separate paint job. Alright. Now when I think of a skink, I think kind of a little blue fella. Oh no, that's too light blue. That's a little better. Maybe I should look at what a skink looks like. That would be smart. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking of, is a blue-tailed skink has a blue, vibrant blue tail. Oh, so actually, hold on. It's a little weird. It's a little weird, I'll be honest. It's not quite my normal style color palette. Okay. There's only so much I can do, but I think that looks pretty decent. Maybe a little overly garish, but... Oh, do I could get real detailed about this. I'm gonna have a better way of doing this, I think. So I want less of this yellow up here. Now I realized I could use the panel here in black to cut off a bit, or I could use panels up here to hide that upper bit of yellow. Make this upper part, the light well area, a black. Now underneath has not been dealt with, but I'm not too worried about underneath. So we do that. And then back here where we had that angle piece, we do the inverse and have angled panels of the yellow. Okay, that's good enough. Last thing, just to help it match a little bit. I don't think the miner is going to be... It's not going to be the same color palette. But you can use that there. And then I'm pretty sure these you do the yellow? Yeah. Just some caution highlights. A very, you know, kind of a bland color palette on this thing. But it'll get the point across, and enough of the colors are similar that it should still sort of mesh well with the carrying thing. Alright. Now that all of that is out of the way, let's go ahead and reconnect these two critters and finally see some actual contact update content. So I have no idea what the terrain out here is actually going to be. It'd be nice if it just keeps at this sort of, you know, flat comfortableness, but there's also every chance that there's going to be a major drop soon, because that military barracks is pretty low on the horizon. And the lack of forward-facing third person is kind of unnerving. I guess worst case, actually. Here is... Yeah, I can use the forward camera on the drone, and I'm ever so slightly higher up now. If I need more scouting, I could always take off in the drone and hopefully see a little bit, you know, scout the forward terrain. This looks like an iron boulder. What is the ore detector on the drone set to? I didn't put a ore detector on the truck, mainly because I figure if I'm ever going somewhere where I'd need an ore detector. Okay, yeah, it's at full range. It's just bad. Yeah, I figure if I ever need an ore detector, I'd probably have the drone with me anyway. Okay, the terrain up here... Whoa. Hold on. Maybe I shouldn't have gone after a military barracks first off. I don't know what tactical alert means. I'm just gonna... Actually, that's a pretty good view. I'm gonna take a photo. And a blueprint. Just in case a drone comes and blows me up in a moment. So I should from here be able to, yep, take control. Do that. Ooh, yep. That's a cliff. Real quick. So the antenna range on that is 10 kilometers. Let's set it. That was wrong. Oh, nuts. I wanted 5 kilometers, not 5 meters. Okay, now I'm in range. Let's see if we can get a view on this thing. Oh, God. It's in like a pit. Okay, I can just see some lights down there. It's too dark now to see much more. I don't love the prospect of driving down there in the dark. Okay, the other place was a research something or other. Maybe I go for that. See if it's a little more friendly. Because I don't particularly want to try and drive halfway down a mountain and get shot to death. Well, I will say the skink seems to handle itself pretty well. Yes, that's the benefit of it all being so wide and squat. I was afraid it would be overly top-heavy with the miner positioned up there, but it seems to be handling it. Now, oh, hey, perfect timing. I was just about to say, I'm going in roughly the direction I think this thing's in, but I don't know. No, there is a lake somewhere, but I think I'm skirting it. Yeah, because those markers that are on the lake are kind of to my right now. There's more gold. Oh, and silver. Hee hee. So, GPS, new from current position. Type in the correct thing. Alright. That is pretty good. Might as well get some of that silver real quick while I'm here. I might as well, while I'm here, get some of that gold too, because that'll be good for the yield modules I want to put on my refinery. And for all the other things you need gold for. This will also be a good test of driving the truck with load. Because that is something that, well, aside from the load of the miner, I'm not doing yet. If I remember correctly, you get very little gold per voxel. So I may be at this a while. I'll probably also end up with a bunch more stone than gold. Yeah. Way more. To the point. How did I get ice in here? That's weird. Yeah. I think I'll leave... Oh. Okay, that's a problem with my design. No lights going backwards. Yeah, I could throw the stone out. I don't think I'll worry about it. I do need the materials in it. It refines quickly enough. I probably should do a few loads of this. Especially while it's dark, I might as well. I really don't have enough... I think I can only have enough room for one more trip. That is the biggest problem with this vehicle. I knew it was a problem when I was designing it. But I just did not put very much cargo on. Partially because it didn't fit in a way that looked good. Though, on the flip side, that actually... Yes, it's more work, but it's kind of nice to need to drive a bunch more, because otherwise why build the vehicle? It's probably a good thing that it's not got so much cargo capacity that I can get enough of something never to need it again, because then I have a use to drive the vehicle more and actually enjoy it. This looks much more promising in terms of being, you know, on this bluff, flat area. In fact... Okay, the camera's not quite aiming the right direction. So I can't get a quick bird's eye peek. It was about like 3 kilometers that the other one got angry at me. It would be nice if this one doesn't, but I'm kind of expecting that it will do the same thing. And I don't know if that equates to drones of death, or if it's just, you know, warning me that it's going to shoot me if I get any closer. That's funny. The cockpit LCD keeps telling me to pull up because I'm about to hit the ground. Yeah, that's because the ground is very close. That's where it lives. I am mildly afraid of bumping the front of my cockpit on too steep of a bluff. Thankfully, a lot of this area is nice and flat. Good driving terrain. I think once I get to the top of this little hillock, I'll be able to see something. Oh, and it does have 2 signals there, but field research outpost is overriding the other one. I think it's no names. Okay, yep. So it says security grid active. Interestingly, they're showing as blue. I don't know what that means. Oh, yep. Okay. Do camera. Oh. Unknown units have entered the area, locking down the gear. There it is. I can see it. Okay. So I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just, you know, hiding the sensitive experiments. You know, tucking away all the garbage from the pizza and parties they eat. Don't know if that means strictly we will gun you down with drones from the sky. I think I want to hang to the left here and approach from the higher ground. If a drone shows up, I'm gonna have to abandon ship and run away. So if anything comes, I want it to target me instead of the truck. I'm gonna just have to hope I can take it out with my pistol and no hydrogen. I can always hop out and do the final scouting on foot. Because worst case, I die and respawn, I can just fill up with jetpack fuel. I should be able to make it. I think this is like... It's like 8 kilometers from the base. Well... I can see it. Home... Yeah. Home is 7 kilometers away. Hold on. Let's get rid of those. Emotes, emotes, emotes. They changed all this. There we go. Have a wave. We'll arm our wave first. Just be ready with the gun if the wave fails. It's hard to tell, but it may be just over a hill from me. Which is probably good, because that means I can get closer without it having a line of fire for any guns. I am about to enter turret range. Coming up to the final ridgeline. Oh no, my wave isn't working. What else is friendly? Pointing is rude. Anger isn't great. Thumbs up. Nope, I can't thumbs up. Can I dance? Okay, I can dance. We'll have our dance armed and ready so they know I come in peace. Alright, with the power of mild omnipotence, I can see the building. Nice looking place. Kinda looks like a face almost. Alright. Well, I can also see them and they can see me. I'm well within turret range now. I don't seem too unhappy. That's good. Okay, maybe I was right. Maybe they are just, you know, friendly folk out here doing science. They want you to know that that's what it is. It's like having the sign out front of your house that says it's the name of the security company. It doesn't even matter if you actually have the security company. You stick the sign out there, and everyone believes you. I'm kicking myself for not driving up, because it's a long walk. Yep, they do have some personnel turrets, but I guess it's a case of if I don't bother them, they won't bother me. Yeah? Seem pretty chill. How do I... Is that your front door? Not very inviting to people without jetpacks. Okay. Well. Is this the doorbell? It's an unmarked button. Yeah, that access is denied too. Oh, and access is denied here? Dang it, I'm not allowed in, am I? Oh.
Fuel low.
I don't have enough jetpack juice to even go up and peek in the windows. Okay, well, let's go get the truck. Alright. Well, we found our first thing. Our first contact update, Ajamuze. We couldn't do much with it, but it's there. So next week I'll, I guess, engage in the debate of whether I actually, grind in and try and check it out, or if I just leave them to their own devices and, wait a little bit before I go on the warpath. But that'll all come in the future. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more and get notified of when things come out. Until next week, bye bye.